Hello, guys, and I'd like to first of all wish you all a very, very happy New Year. Here we are on New Year's Eve with the last film review of 2024, and it has to be a horror film, and it has to be 1980s New Year's Evil, uh, based on New Year's Eve. So, what a way to end the year out! Now, this film, it's so shitty that it's good, if you know what I mean. It's everything about it is awful. When you watch it, you think, "My God, the Americans have made some really crappy films," and this is one of them. But I still got something out of it, and I still really enjoyed it. It's based on this woman called Diane Sullivan, who played by Roz Kelly, and she's like a TV presenter of this a rock show on extravaganza on New Year's Eve on television, and she's quite what's the word? She's very into herself, and and she's sort of like very yeah. She's very 80s, and she's got a son called Derek, played by Grant Cramer, and um he's a bit of a weirdo himself, and he's very awful actor, this Grant Cramer. Anyway, so they're on this New Year's Eve sort of like rock show, and we get all these shots prior to it of these so-called punks in this car going to this show, and it's really poor, really awful. And we get sort of shots of like I think this is Hollywood area, and they turn up to this hotel where the show is, and then we get the worst band that you've ever heard called Shadow, and they're terrible. They're supposed to be punk, but they play like a mixture of glam rock and blues. They don't play any punk music, and you got all these sort of so-called punks trying to mosh to it, and it's just like it's that bad. That's how bad it is. Anyways, Diane Sullivan is the presenter of the show, and they've got like this TV, they've got these hotline telephones going on, and she answers these calls. I don't know why they're doing that. It's not like they're doing it to raise money or anything. I don't know. It's just really strange. And then she gets a call from Evil. That's the name of our killer, and he is her husband, played by Kip Niven, and he's the husband of her. Um, I can't remember what his name is in the film, but he's straight away he's the killer, and we see him. There's no mask, there's nothing. He puts a Stan Laurel mask on later on in the film, but never uses it or kills by it. And this sort of mask has got sort of like renowned in the horror genre as like this. Oh, this is the killer of this film, and he's never killed anyone in this mask. Anyway, he goes out and starts killing these women at midnight, but he's doing it by around the world. So as this TV show's celebrating New Year's, it's celebrating New Year's like from all around the world. So like about 9 o'clock, it's midnight in somewhere. So he kills 10 o'clock, like that, all the way to midnight. And his ultimate victim is supposed to be his wife. And so in the end, he sort of goes to the hotel and sort of starts entrapping her. While this all going on, their son is acting all weird and wearing this stocking over his head, and I don't know what he's doing, tearing his roses apart and all this sort of. I think he's trying to show that he's close to his dad, a bit of an idiot, not a maniac, more of an idiot. Anyway, and then we've got our cop, Lieutenant Clayton, played by Chris Wallace, who's a bit of a discount sort of Al Pacino looking guy. And you got the buffoonery of the police, but just they can't catch their own tail, let alone anything else. And it plays out like that throughout the film. So it's really anticlimactic. It is a very anticlimactic ending. Oh, guys, it's so crap, but it's great. Oh, I really enjoyed it because it's the cheesiness of the film. It's made by Canon Cinema, and I just think, yeah, this is the film. You know when Arrow did that video store box set, and I said, oh, I hope they do a canon one. This is the sort of film that needs to be in it. That sort of really cheesy, badly acted, predictable film, and all the kills are done off screen pretty much, apart from one girl who gets like a bag over her head to suffocate. But all the other kills are pretty off screen. You get to see the remnants after it, and he's such a lame killer. He really is lame. He tries to put a disguise on, like he puts a moustache on at one point and stuff like that. And you can see it looks fake, but but it's fun. I had great fun watching it. The pluses of this edition by 88 Film, it looks alright. It's still very grainy, but I think it's one of those films that it's always going to look like that. This was made in 1980, so this was before, I think, Friday the 13th and stuff like that. It's more like the sort of prom night sort of time, and it's around that sort of type of film, but not as good as Prom Night. It's a lot more cheesy and a lot more crappier, but it plays out all right, and it's cool. The acting is dreadful. It's a cast of unknowns and absolutely dreadful, really badly acted, which is absolutely fantastic. The gore is absolutely minimum. I think this is it. So yeah, it's only a 15, so the gore is a minimum. This edition doesn't have any special features on it apart from a couple of sort of audio commentary, so it's not the great for special features. But it's still quite a good film. I'm going to score the film a great watch and give it an 8 out of 10. So it's still quite a high score because it is a bit of a classic sort of a slasher, and there isn't many New Year's Eve sort of slasher films. I mean, I believe Terror Train was also based on New Year's Eve. I should have reviewed that one, really. It's in my watch pile. Oh dear, maybe I'll get that out. Oh, maybe I'll get that out and I'll do that for tomorrow, New Year's Day. Oh, don't know. You're being for a treat if you do. But that's for better films. Got our main woman in it, Jamie Lee. But apart from that, it's a good fun film. Nothing more. You're not going to get anything else out of this film apart from maybe a few giggles. This is the sort of film that needs, like Pieces and The Slayer have that audience recording of in like a cinema. That's what this needs, with the audience watching it, so you can hear them laughing at how bad it is and how bad the script is, and yeah. But it's still worth a watch, and definitely, if you're a horror fan, you've definitely got to have it in your collection. This is quite a high number. It's number 46 in the 88 Film Slasher Classic Collection. So it's quite a high number up. So it's quite a recent release with him. Yeah. New York Evil, 8 out of 10. Any of you guys seen it? If you have, let me know down below what you think of it. Yeah, I was hoping this was going to be a bit more gory and a bit more sort of out there, but I didn't have any expectations, so I still had a good time laughing at the film. There's some really cheesy bits in the film, really ridiculously cheesy and silly. Well, I just giggled, and it's just so funny. There's one really funny bit when one of the women goes into this convenience store to buy this bottle of champagne, and there's this really tall black dude working there. His acting is so poor. It's like a big pause. The woman doesn't say a word of dialogue, but there's a massive sort of like pause between and Happy New Year to you, like that. It's just so funny. It's so bad, but it's so good. Really enjoyed that scene for some reason. But yeah, dig it out and give it a watch, but don't expect anything from it. Really, really worth still having a watch though. So next year we're going to have a band of new sort of horror movies, hopefully, coming out. Obviously, I've done my top 10 films of the year, my top 10 physical releases of the year. I hope you managed to see those, and Hope there's some films in there you maybe not have seen and you can catch up with. Yeah, there's a few films that didn't reach my top 10 in there. You got films like Alien, the latest Alien film, which was good, but it didn't reach my top 10 for me. And also Terrifier 3. Again, another really cool film, but didn't reach my top 10. And the reasons being is because they were like the other films, so Terrifier 3 was just like 1 and 2, and the Alien film was just like the other Alien film. So it didn't bring anything new to the genre or anything new for me to see. So that's why they didn't reach my top 10s. They're not bad films, they're awesome movies, but it didn't bring anything new to see. Whereas like the year before, I had films like Scream in there, that latest Scream, because it was a different sort of take on the franchise, which I really loved. It went a different direction, but those two films weren't exactly the same as the others. So I thought, well, I can't put them in my top 10 favourites. Although they were great films, I like my films to be that brought something new to the table, and I hope my top 10 reflected that. But anyway, hope you have a fantastic 2025. I'm hoping to see my son. I didn't see him, unfortunately, over New Year's because of work commitments, but I do have a week off in January, so I plan to go down and spend a few days with him then, and we can sort of celebrate the new year our way. Might even do a little road trip, so we'll keep your eyes open for that. Until my next video, guys, please check out other horror channels and wish them a happy new year. Check out Horror Hands, Horror Geek, Manview Film, RS Design, Pizzawell, I'm Ice Lord, The Maniac, Cat Watches Horror Movies, Grumpy Andrews, Haunted House, and a massive, massive New Year shout out to my lad. Till next time, look after yourselves, look after one another, and I really hope I'll see you all soon.